Hi there, it's UK independent demonstrator Halsey here from slimandstylish.com. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm playing with the perfectly framed photopolymer stamp set that's from the Stampin' Up mini catalogue. This is a cute stamp set. I love all these fun fonts and how gorgeous they are, but all of the flowers connect together quite nicely, and I've created this card with it. Let me show you how I did it. So to start off with, I've used the You Make Me Happy stamp, and then I've used the little pieces here. Not all of them, but quite a few of them. You will need a piece of Whisper White cardstock. This one is 9.5 centimetres by 13.8. And I've also got a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock as well for the sentiment. So I'm going to do the sentiment first in Memento ink, and this is the only time I'm using Memento. Quite unusual. I love Memento ink and I seem to use it an awful lot on cards, so it's quite unusual that I'm only going to be using it on the sentiment. You could have done it in Pretty Peacock actually, because I've done the flowers in Pretty Peacock, but no, I like Memento. I'm using the new punches from the new mini catalogue. These are great, I love them. There's two, there is this one and this one. There are more punches in the catalogue, but these are the two that I love, the two label ones, and they work really well together. So I'm just going to punch this out. Try and get it as much in the centre as possible. There we go. And then I'm going to use the other punch, and I'm going to use this part of it here, which helps to feed ribbon through. So to do that, I'm just going to put the sentiment through. I know it's going to catch where the swirl is, and it's going to catch where the swirl is on this side. And unfortunately, the stamp is just a little bit too big that happens. But because it is a swirl and not part of the actual wording, I'm okay with it. So it'll look like that eventually when you've got your ribbon through. I'm just going to pop that to the side, and I'm going to bring in the little bits now. I've got this one here, which is, let me show you on the case, which is this one, and I have this one here, which is this up here. I then have this one, which is this one here, and I have the two flowers, which are these two, and they're connected to each other. I then also have the tiny little dots that are here, and that's how I'm going to make my pattern at the back. So first of all, I'm going to pop this roughly where I want it on the card, so I know I'm going to want it in the middle. And I'm going to start off with Smoky Slate and the larger piece. And this is all about guesstimating with your eyes as to where you want to stamp. So let me show you. I know that I want 4 to go around here, but I want it to loop underneath the sentiment. So while I'm going to want that there, I'm then going to move the sentiment, not the backing. Put my finger on it. And that's where I want to stamp. So that when I put this back, it's covering part of the leaves, but not all of them. I do the same over this side. I want that to go there. Pop it back. You could use a post-it note, punch it out and mask it where you want it if you don't want to do the moving and stamping at the same time. I don't mind, this is just a bit quicker for me, so I'm doing it this way. Do about on that angle, I reckon, there. And that is all of the Smoky Slate stamping done. I'll be using Pretty Peacock to add in all of the flowers. So let me show you how I've done that one. First of all, I've took the bigger flower, and on the stalks that just have one stalk up, I'm using that to put the flower on. I'm going to pop it on that one, that one, this one over here, and finally this one over here. The one that's got the double flower on, I'm putting this on the double stalk, and the small one at the top, the big one at the bottom, just like that. Just going to get a piece of scrap paper, because the other two go off the page. I don't really want to get my grid paper all messy. So that one there will go there. That one there will go there. And that's that stamp done. And finally the one that's got all three in. So for this one, I know that my sentiment's going to go in the middle there. And I only want to see a little bit of shade on each side. So I'm just going to pop them in between the leaves like that. Nothing too scientific or special or lining up with that. It's just so that when I put my sentiment over the top, I'm going to get some colour from the stamps. And that is pretty much it for the Pretty Peacock as well. Soft sea foam is up next. And I'm using the soft sea foam with this tiny little dotted stamp, if you can see it, just to give it a little bit of extra texture on it. So I'm just going to pop that. There is no rhyme or rhythm to this. I am just dropping it wherever I want to create the texture. No logic, just keep going until you're happy, and I think I'm quite happy with that. The ribbon I've used is the metallic edge ribbon. This is the Whisper White one that's got the silver edge. There is also a vanilla one, a very vanilla, that has a gold edge, but I've used the one with a silver edge. I don't want much of this, I want about that much. And I'm going to be using my light Pretty Peacock blend, and I'm going to use the big tip brush. And holding the top, I'm just going to go all the way along it. If you haven't got the blends, you can use the Stampin' Right markers, and if you haven't got the Stampin' Right markers, you can use the refill. There's no problem with that either. I'm just going to go over it a couple of times because I want it to be quite dark. And it doesn't matter at all about the end where I was holding it. Just going to run this along there. I kind of want it to get dry on the paper. Oh, if you're doing this, once you've coloured it, it's best to leave it for a little bit to dry. I'm obviously videoing it, so I can't really leave it, but you are best to leave it for a bit. Grab your sentiment, I know it's somewhere, there it is. I just want to feed the ribbon through, so you feed it down, feed it through the other side and pull it through. You want to get it so it's about halfway, and you want to put it in the middle, and then you just pop it up with your dimensionals. So if you put your dimensionals half on the card, half on the ribbon, it'll stick it in place, and pop the card up at the same time. Couple will do it. Place it where you'd eyeballed it first. Turn that over using your snail to adhere the ribbon to the back. And there's the front of your card. I'm going to be adhering it to Smoky Slate, means I've used Smoky Slate in it, but you can go with Pretty Peacock. You could also do the soft sea foam, that would work as well, up to you. But I quite like Smoky Slate, I think it looks quite elegant on it. Stick it on there, and then I'm going to stick it onto my card back. My card backings, as usual, is a thick Whisper White. A4 sheet of paper cut in half, scored in half, and made into a 10-fold card. It looks like that when it's finished. Thinking off the top of my head, we've got the Noble Peacock rhinestones. I'm just going to grab a couple of those because I never thought about putting them on the original to decorate this. I haven't got my paper piercer here. I've been crafting downstairs because I've been crafting with people, and I left all the stuff there and just brought these up to film. So that is exactly where my paper piercer is. I'm wondering if my nails are long enough. Come on. I'm going to pop a few of those on there. 3 on each card, I reckon, because I don't think my nails can cope with any more. There we go. I'm just going to pop a couple on the first one I made. I love this set and the fonts and things like that. I've made quite a few with this, and I like how the flowers build up. Have you played with it yet? What do you think of it? I must admit, I got it for the fonts. I didn't think the flowers were that special, but as I started building and making them, I realised they actually work quite well. This is fiddly with your fingers. If you want a reason for a paper piercer, there's a reason right here, because that's quite annoying. There you go. What do you think? All of the products I've used today are available on my blog, stampinup.com. If you head up to the top header and click buy, it will take you to my store, and this is the perfectly framed stamp set. There will be a list of products that I've used on this project, and if you'd like it, please subscribe and join for more products. If you are shopping, don't forget to use my hostess code, as I send all of my customers who use the hostess code a little thank you gift. Cheers everybody, see you soon, bye.